The WhatsApp notification lit up my phone, sending a cold shiver down my spine. There on my screen was my brother, Russell, cocktail in hand, lounging at a luxury resort in the Maldives. The same brother whose medical bills had supposedly been piling up. The same reason I'd sold my beloved Toyota Camry, my first major purchase and symbol of independence, just 2 weeks ago. I'm Evelyn, and this was the moment I realized my family had been playing me for a fool my entire life. "This can't be happening," I whispered, my fingers trembling as I scrolled through photo after photo: infinity pools, sunset yacht cruises, champagne toasts. The timestamp showed he'd been there for the past 10 days, exactly when Mom had called me crying about his emergency appendectomy. My phone buzzed again. Mom, or Diana, as she preferred others to call her, was calling. I let it ring. Mia poked her head into my cubicle, her usual cheerful expression fading as she saw my face. "Ev, you look like you've seen a ghost." I wordlessly turned my phone screen toward her. "Remember how I told you I sold my car to help with Russell's medical bills?" She squinted at the screen, then her eyes widened in shock. "Oh no. Oh hell no." "Oh yes," I laughed, but it came out more like a choked sob. "Apparently, appendicitis is best treated with 5-star resorts and seafood buffets." My phone buzzed again. Mom's face flashed on the screen. "Answer it," Mia urged, her voice tight with anger. "Call her out." I took a deep, steadying breath and picked up. "Hi, Mom." "Evelyn, honey, I've been trying to reach you all morning. How are you managing without your car? I feel just awful about. How's Russell's recovery going?" I cut in, my voice eerily calm despite the storm raging inside me. "Oh, he's doing better," the doctor said. "Really?" "Because his WhatsApp shows him doing just fine in the Maldives for the past 10 days. My fingers gripped the phone so tight my knuckles turned white. Silence. Then, "Evelyn, sweetie, I can explain." "Save it," my voice cracked. "I sold my car, Mom, because you told me Russell needed emergency surgery that insurance wouldn't cover, that he might lose his apartment. Well, he was very stressed about his startup business, and you know how he gets." "Stop." I stood up abruptly, drawing concerned looks from my coworkers in the marketing department. Lowering my voice, I continued, "I've been taking the bus for 2 hours each way to work. I had to cancel my gym membership to afford the transit pass. Meanwhile, he's posting photos of champagne bottles. He needed a break? Evelyn, you know how hard he's been working on his business ventures." I'm hanging up now. "Don't be dramatic, honey. Family helps family. You've always been the responsible one. Ever since you were little." "Yeah," I said, the bitter taste of years of manipulation rising in my throat. "I have been, and you've both used that against me my entire life." I ended the call and blocked her number. Mia touched my arm, her face a mixture of sympathy and rage. My phone lit up with a WhatsApp message from Russell: "Mom's crying. Why are you being such a..." I showed Mia the message, and she swore under her breath. "Want me to hack his startup's website? I know people in IT." That made me laugh, a real one this time. "No. I have a better idea." I opened WhatsApp and commented on his latest status: "Glad to see my car money is treating you well. Hope the appendicitis cleared up nicely." Within minutes, my phone exploded with notifications. Russell's business contacts commenting with question marks. Mom calling from different numbers. Russell himself sending increasingly angry WhatsApp messages about family loyalty and understanding business investments. "You're going to start a family war," Mia warned, but she was grinning. "No," I said, gathering my marketing presentation materials, "I'm going to end one." Can you cover for me with Nathan? I need to leave early. Where are you going? To the bank. I'm closing our joint account and removing myself as a co-signer on Mom's credit card. Then I'm going to look for a new apartment, one closer to work. What about your family? I looked at my phone, now showing a group text from Mom, family meeting tonight. Non-negotiable. They stopped being my family the moment they decided my car was worth less than Russell's luxury business retreat, I said, deleting the message. I'm done being their emergency fund. As I walked to the bus stop, another notification popped up. This time from Nathan in accounting. Saw your comment on your brother's status. If you need a ride home, I'm heading your way. I stared at the message for a moment, then replied, thanks, but I need to learn to stand on my own 2 feet. The bus arrived, and as I climbed aboard, I felt lighter than I had in years. Sometimes, losing everything, even a car you spent 3 years saving for, is exactly what you need to find yourself. And I had a feeling this was just the beginning. The banging on my apartment door started at 7 a.m. sharp. I'd been expecting it. Diana always did have a flair for dramatic timing. Evelyn, open this door right now. Her voice carried through the thin walls, probably waking my neighbors who, like me, worked normal hours instead of living off others. I turned up my coffee maker to drown out her voice and continued packing boxes. After yesterday's revelation, I'd spent the night searching for new apartments and found one closer to downtown. The lease was signed digitally by midnight. I know you're in there. Your car isn't, her voice faltered, probably remembering why exactly my Toyota wasn't in its usual spot. My phone buzzed with Mia's text, Operation Freedom going okay? Before I could reply, Russell's voice joined Mom's. Stop being childish and open the door. This is about my business investments. I typed back to Mia, the dynamic duo showed up. Already talking about business investments. Almost done packing. Walking to the door but not opening it, I called out, I'm not interested in talking. Please leave before I call the building manager. You can't just cut us off, Mom's voice cracked with practiced precision. We're family. Family doesn't steal from each other, I replied, methodically taping up another box of books. Family doesn't lie about medical emergencies to fund luxury vacations. It wasn't stealing. Russell shouted. Mom said you offered to help with my startup costs. Help with your supposed appendicitis, not your networking trip. I needed that opportunity. You don't understand the pressure I'm under with my new projects. I yanked the door open, making them both step back. Try managing a full marketing department. Try taking the bus at 5 a.m. because you sold your car to help your lying family. Try working 60-hour weeks to make rent while watching your brother post about business retreats with your money. Try that kind of pressure, Russell. Mom reached for my arm, her designer bracelet catching the morning light. Sweetie, please, don't touch me. I stepped back. I've already closed our joint accounts and removed myself from your credit cards. I'm moving out this weekend. This is goodbye. You can't do this to us. Russell's face reddened, his expensive watch flashing as he gestured wildly. Mom needs your help with the bills. My startup is just about to take off. Maybe you should have thought about that before spending my car money on cocktails. It wasn't your money once you gave it to us. It was a business investment. You're right, I said quietly, a strange calm settling over me. It wasn't. Just like I'm not your personal bank anymore. My phone buzzed again. Nathan this time, need help moving? Got a truck and free time. Marketing department's got your back. Mom noticed my small smile at the message. Who's that? Is someone putting these ideas in your head? You never used to be so selfish. The only person putting ideas in my head is me, for the first time in my life, actually. But what about Thanksgiving? Mom's voice wavered. Your brother's startup launch? Family dinners? I'm sure you'll manage to guilt someone else into funding those. Russell stepped forward, his finger pointing at my face. You ungrateful little, everything okay here? A deep voice interrupted. We all turned to see Walter, our elderly neighbor and retired high school teacher, standing in the hallway with his arms crossed. The same man who'd watched me grow up, working multiple jobs through college while Russell dropped out of his fourth attempt at business school. Just fine, I said, drawing strength from his presence. Mom and Russell were just leaving. Walter nodded slowly. Diana. Russell. I think Evelyn's made herself clear. Best give her some space. But she's abandoning us. Mom wailed. After everything we've done, like you abandoned my trust? I shot back, or my car payments, or basic honesty. Walter stepped between us, his retired teacher authority still commanding respect. Diana, take Russell and go home. Evelyn's an adult, making adult decisions. Respect that. Mom's face crumpled, but Russell grabbed her arm. Have fun playing martyr, Evelyn. Don't come crying to us when your marketing career fails and you need startup capital. That's rich coming from you, I said, but they were already walking away, Russell's designer shoes squeaking on the hallway floor. Walter waited until they disappeared down the stairs. You okay, kiddo? Getting there. I showed him my phone with the new apartment details. Moving this weekend. Closer to the office. He nodded approvingly. Good for you. Sometimes the hardest part of growing up is growing away. Thanks for the backup. Anytime. He turned to leave, then paused. You know, I watched you take care of them for years. Maybe it's time someone took care of you. I glanced at Nathan's message, still waiting for a reply. Maybe you're right. After Walter left, I texted Nathan back, actually, could use some help this weekend. Pizza and gratitude in exchange for truck services. His response was immediate, deal. But I'm picking the toppings. No pineapple, I've seen your lunch choices. Looking around my half-packed apartment, I felt something unfamiliar, hope, maybe, or freedom. For the first time in my life, the weight of family obligation wasn't pressing down on my shoulders. I sent one final text to Mia, Operation Freedom, Phase 1 complete. Phase 2, actually living my life. Her response made me laugh, about damn time. By the way, marketing teams taking bets on how long before Russell's startup files for bankruptcy. She was right. It was about damn time. So, what made you finally snap? Nathan asked, setting down another box in my new apartment. Sunlight streamed through the windows, highlighting the dust motes dancing in the air. The view wasn't much, but it was mine, no strings attached. You mean besides the luxury resort photos? I wiped sweat from my forehead. 32 years of being the responsible one, the reliable one, the one who always said yes. The one who worked through college while watching Russell blow through business schools on Mom's credit cards. And now you're the one who says no. He grinned, collapsing onto my second-hand couch. It suits you. The whole marketing department thinks so. I tossed him a water bottle. Thanks again for helping. I know moving isn't exactly a fun weekend activity. Are you kidding? This is better than reviewing quarterly reports. He took a swig of water. Besides, I've wanted to talk to you properly since that day you stormed out of the office. A knock at the door interrupted whatever I was about to say. Mia burst in carrying Chinese takeout. Food's here. You can't build a new life on an empty stomach. Oh, hey Nathan. Didn't know you'd still be here. I can go. He started to stand. Don't you dare, I said. You earned that food. Besides, I need witnesses in case my family shows up with another business opportunity. Mia set out the containers on my kitchen counter. Speaking of which, have you checked your email? Your mom's been sending messages to the office account. Yeah, I saw them. Haven't opened them. Probably another pitch for Russell's startup. Smart, Nathan said, joining us at the counter. My sister went through something similar with our dad's investment schemes. Sometimes distance is the only answer. I grabbed chopsticks from a box labeled kitchen stuff and passed them around. How did that work out for her? She's happier now. Dad eventually realized he couldn't use her as his personal ATM and backed off. Here's hoping, I muttered, then jumped as my phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Evelyn, it's Mom. Please call. It's about my health insurance payments. I showed the screen to Mia, who rolled her eyes. New number, same old guilt trip. Classic Diana. Delete it, Nathan advised, his voice gentle but firm. If it's really about health insurance, she can tell her golden boy Russell. I blocked the number, but my hands were shaking slightly. Nathan noticed and touched my arm gently. Hey, you're doing the right thing. The whole marketing team's behind you. Am I? I looked between him and Mia, because sometimes it feels like I'm being horrible. They're still family. You want horrible? Mia pulled out her phone. Look what your brother posted yesterday. She showed me Russell's LinkedIn story, a photo of Mom looking sad at a business lunch, captioned missing my sister who abandoned our family business. Blood should be thicker than water. Hashtag entrepreneur life, hashtag family first, that's rich, Nathan scoffed, coming from the guy who used your car money for a networking retreat. They're trying to paint me as the villain, I said, stabbing at my low mane. And the worst part is, it's working. Half my relatives have already unfollowed me on social media. Good riddance, Mia declared. Less people to explain yourself to at the holiday party. About that, I took a deep breath. I got invited to spend Thanksgiving with my college roommate in Colorado. I think I'm going to go. That's perfect. Mia clapped. A drama-free holiday, plus actual mountains instead of mountains of guilt. Much better than watching Russell pitch his next revolutionary startup idea over turkey, Nathan added. I laughed, then sobered. I just hope Mom's okay, financially. I mean, she's fine, Mia assured me. I saw her at Nordstrom yesterday, shopping up a storm. Of course you did, I shook my head. Let me guess, Russell was with her. Yep. Both looked pretty healthy to me. He was talking someone's ear off about cryptocurrency investments. My phone buzzed again. Another unknown number. Evelyn, Mom's really struggling with the bills. Don't be selfish. Call us. Your brother's new venture needs family support. That's it. Nathan grabbed my phone and started typing. What are you doing? He showed me the message he drafted. If Mom is truly struggling, Russell can use his Maldives travel fund to help. I'm not a venture capitalist or an ATM. Please stop contacting me. Send it. Mia urged. Then block this number too. I hit send, then immediately blocked the number. You know what's weird? For the first time since selling my car, I actually feel like I can breathe. That's because you're finally living for yourself, Nathan said. It looks good on you. The whole department's noticed. Our eyes met over the takeout containers, and something warm flickered in my chest. Mia cleared her throat dramatically. Well, I should head out. Early marketing meeting tomorrow. She winked at me, not so subtly. Nathan, take care of our girl, okay? After she left, Nathan helped me break down empty boxes. You know, he said casually, there's this great coffee shop around the corner. Maybe we could check it out sometime when you're settled in. No business pitches involved. I smiled, thinking how different this felt from the constant drain of family obligations. I'd like that. As long as you promise not to turn it into a startup. As if on cue, another unknown number popped up on my phone. Without even reading the message about exciting investment opportunities, I blocked it. Look at you. Nathan grinned. Getting better at saying no already. And yes, I added, meeting his eyes, when it matters. I was in the middle of a marketing presentation when Mom burst into the conference room, mascara streaking down her face. My coworkers froze, all eyes darting between us as I gripped my presentation pointer so tight my knuckles went white. Evelyn, please, she sobbed. You have to help us. Russell's startup, Mrs. Harrison, my department head, started. This is a private meeting. It's okay, I said, my voice steadier than I felt. Give me 5 minutes. I led Mom to the break room, aware of curious eyes following us through the glass walls. I saw Nathan stand up from his desk in accounting, concern etched on his face. I gave him a small wave. I could handle this. You can't ignore us forever, Mom said as soon as we were alone. We're drowning without your marketing expertise. Russell's startup needs, funny how you managed just fine before I started working, before I became your personal venture capital fund. That's not fair. We're family. Your brother's business ideas are brilliant. Stop. I held up my hand. Just tell me why you're here, making a scene at my workplace. She pulled out a stack of papers from her designer purse, bills, notices, collection letters. Russell's last startup didn't work out, the credit cards are maxed out, the bank is threatening foreclosure, and this is my problem because we need you. Just a small investment, maybe 10,000. For Russell's new cryptocurrency platform. I actually laughed. 10,000, Mom? I don't even have a car anymore, remember? But your savings are for family emergencies, not just for yourself. I glanced at the bills. Why did his last startup fail? She shifted uncomfortably. He had a disagreement with his investors about the Maldives trip. Let me guess, he took unauthorized funds for his networking retreat? He was stressed about the pitch meetings. He needed to be an adult and face consequences for once in his life. I stood up, my marketing presentation all but forgotten. You're being cruel, she whispered. This isn't the daughter I raised. No, the daughter you raised would have emptied her 401k by now, would have sacrificed everything to fund another one of Russell's schemes. A knock on the break room door made us both turn. Nathan stood there with Mia. Everything okay? Mia asked. The marketing team was gathering by their desks, watching. Mom's eyes narrowed. Are these the people who turned you against our family business? No, Mom, these are the people who helped me see how toxic you are. I moved toward the door. I have to get back to my presentation. The one for my real job. Evelyn, please, just listen. I think you should leave, Nathan said firmly, before security gets involved. Mom gathered her papers, tears starting again. When did you become so heartless? When I realized my heart was the only thing I had left after you and Russell took everything else. After she left, Mia hugged me tight. You okay? No, I admitted, but I will be. Want me to finish your marketing presentation? Mia offered. I shook my head. I need to do this, show everyone I'm professional, despite that. I'll get you coffee after, Nathan said. You look like you could use it. Back in the conference room, I apologized for the interruption and continued my presentation on our Q4 digital strategy as if nothing had happened. But as I wrapped up, I overheard two colleagues whispering. Did you hear? Her brother lost everything after that luxury business retreat he took with her money. Serves him right. My friend in banking said he was there yesterday trying to get another loan for some crypto startup. I packed up my laptop, pretending not to hear, but a small part of me felt vindicated. Karma was finally catching up. Nathan was waiting by my desk, ready for that coffee. Actually, I hesitated. Can we get something stronger? I think I need a drink. I know just the place. At the bar, after my first glass of wine, I checked my phone. 3 missed calls from Russell, 1 voicemail. You think you're so much better than us now with your real job. Mom's a mess because of you. I had to move back home because no investors understand my vision. I hope you're happy with yourself, you selfish. I deleted it before it finished. You know what's ironic? I told Nathan. They keep saying I abandoned them, but they're the ones who never showed up for me. Not once. Not when I worked 3 jobs through college, not when I got my marketing degree, not even when I made department head. He reached across the table and squeezed my hand. Their loss. Yeah, I said, squeezing back, their loss. My phone buzzed again. A text from Walter, saw your mother today. Don't worry about her dramatics. Your father would have been proud of you standing up for yourself. I showed Nathan the message, and he smiled. Smart man, that Walter. Smart enough to see what took me 32 years to figure out. Better late than never, he said, raising his glass. To boundaries. I clinked my glass against his. To boundaries, and to finally enforcing them. Walter showed up at my door on a rainy Sunday morning, holding 2 cups of coffee and wearing a grim expression. Got a minute, kiddo? For coffee? Always. I let him in, noting how he seemed to be choosing his words carefully. What's wrong? Saw your mother yesterday, he said, settling onto my couch. At the hospital. My stomach dropped. Is she okay? Panic attack. They kept her overnight for observation. He handed me a coffee. Russell wasn't there. Apparently, he was too busy pitching his new crypto platform to some investors. I sipped my coffee to hide my trembling hands. Why are you telling me this? Because you deserve to know the truth, not the manipulated version they're spreading around. He leaned forward. Your mother's panic attack happened right after the bank officially started foreclosure proceedings. Let me guess, because of Russell's failed startups? Partially, but mainly because she's been funding all his ventures, paying his rent, car payments, and credit card bills for months, even before your car money went to his networking retreat. My phone buzzed. Nathan checking in, still on for lunch? I typed back quickly, rain check. Something came up. Evelyn, Walter said gently. I'm not telling you this to make you feel guilty. I'm telling you because you need to understand this isn't your fault. They were drowning in Russell's schemes long before you stepped away. But if I hadn't cut them off, they would have dragged you down with them. He pulled out his phone, showing me a LinkedIn post from Russell from just last night, him at an expensive startup conference, pitching another revolutionary idea. He posted this while your mother was in the hospital. Of course, he did. I set my coffee down hard enough to slosh it. Why am I not surprised? Because you finally see them clearly. Walter stood up, walking to my window. You know, I've known your family for 15 years. Watched you work through college while Russell dropped out of his fourth attempt at business school. Saw you skip vacations to help with bills while he launched failed startup after failed startup. Why didn't you say anything? Would you have listened? He turned to face me. Sometimes people need to realize things on their own. My phone buzzed again. Mia, this time, 911. Your mom's posting about being in the hospital. You okay? I should check on her, I said, half standing. Should you? Walter raised an eyebrow. Or is that your guilt talking? Before I could answer, my phone rang. An unknown number. I answered on speaker. Evelyn? Russell's voice filled the room. Mom's in the hospital and you don't even care. She could have died from a panic attack about money problems you caused by not investing in my startups. Oh, so this is my fault now? The foreclosure? The maxed out credit cards? The business retreat you took with my car money? You don't understand business. My new crypto platform is going to revolutionize. No, Russell, you don't understand basic responsibility, I cut in, surprising myself with my steadiness. And I'm done funding your delusions. Fine. I hope you can live with yourself when Walter took the phone. Russell, it's Walter. Instead of guilt-tripping your sister, maybe try selling those startup conference tickets you were bragging about last week, or your designer suits. Or maybe just grow up and get a real job. He hung up and blocked the number before Russell could launch into another pitch. Thank you, I whispered. Don't thank me yet, he handed me back my phone. The hard part's coming. They're going to escalate, make you look like the villain, try to turn everyone against you. They already are. I showed him my mother's latest Facebook post, a hospital selfie with the caption missing my daughter during this difficult time. Where's the startup support when you need it? Prayer warriors needed. Hashtag family business, hashtag startup, hashtag entrepreneur. Ah, yes, the social media guilt trip, he chuckled. Your mother's specialty. My phone lit up with messages from relatives I hadn't heard from in years, all suddenly concerned about my absence from the family business. You know what's funny? I said, blocking numbers one by one. A month ago, this would have broken me. Now it just makes me angry. Good. Walter headed for the door. Anger's better than guilt. Anger means you're healing. Walter, I called as he opened the door, why are you really here? He paused. Because 15 years ago, I watched a bright young girl give up her college savings to fund her brother's first failed startup. Someone should have stepped in then. I'm stepping in now. After he left, I called Nathan. Rain check canceled. I could really use that lunch. Everything okay? No, I said honestly, but I'm done feeling guilty about that. I'll pick you up in 20, he said, and Evelyn? I'm proud of you. The whole department is. 3 simple words, but they meant more than all my family's manipulative business pitches combined. Sometimes, the family you choose is better than the family you're born into. The hospital corridor felt longer than it should have. Mia squeezed my hand as we approached the information desk, where a nurse directed us to room 304. You don't have to do this, Mia reminded me. I know, but I need to see for myself. We found Mom asleep, looking smaller than I remembered in the hospital bed. Russell wasn't there, surprise, surprise, but he'd left his mark. Business magazines and startup pamphlets cluttered the corner of the room. Seriously? Mia whispered, pointing at the materials. She's in the hospital and he's still pushing his schemes? Mom's eyes fluttered open. Evelyn? You came? Just to check on you, I said, staying near the door. Walter told me what happened. The doctor says it's stress? She reached for my hand, her designer ring catching the fluorescent light. If you just help with some of the startup costs. Mom, I cut her off, I can see the business magazines. She glanced at the corner and flushed. Your brother needed nothing in those investment pamphlets. I pulled out my phone and showed her Russell's latest LinkedIn story, him at a startup conference last night, caption reading, "No setbacks can stop a true entrepreneur. Big announcements coming. Hashtag grind never stops. He's networking in his own way," she defended. While you're in the hospital? Mia interjected. That's cold even for him. Don't judge him. Tell your friend not to. To what? Point out the obvious? I stepped closer to the bed. You're in here because of panic attacks over money, while he's out there pitching more failed ventures. He promised this one would work. Like he promised to pay me back for my car? A nurse appeared in the doorway. Everything okay in here? Your blood pressure is rising, Mrs. Matthews. We're leaving, I said. I just needed to see something for myself. Evelyn, please. Mom grabbed my wrist. I know I made mistakes, but I'm sick. I need you. Your brother's new platform. No, you need someone to fund Russell's delusions. That's not me anymore. As if on cue, Russell burst into the room, reeking of expensive cologne. Well, look who finally showed up. And look who's pitching at conferences while Mom's hospitalized, Mia muttered. You got something to say? Russell stepped toward her, but I moved between them. Back off, Russell. Or what? You'll pitch me another failed startup? Sir, the nurse intervened. If you can't calm down, I'll have to ask you to leave. It's fine, I said. We're going. Yeah, run away. Russell called after us. That's what you're good at. Just like you ran from our family business opportunities. I stopped at the door. You know what I'm actually good at, Russell? Building a real career. You should try it sometime. In the hallway, my phone buzzed with a text from Nathan. How's it going? Marketing team's got your back. Coffee after? I typed back, need friendly faces right now. Already at our usual spot, he responded. No business pitches allowed. Mia drove us to the cafe, keeping up a steady stream of conversation about the latest marketing campaign to distract me. When we walked in, Nathan had claimed our usual corner booth. That bad, huh? He asked, noting my expression. Worse. I collapsed into the booth. Russell showed up talking about his new crypto platform. Mom tried to guilt-trip me about startup money while surrounded by business magazines. Classic. Mia snorted. Did you see his LinkedIn post? Serial entrepreneur seeking angel investors for revolutionary platform. Family first, business always. With a photo of him pretending to work at Mom's hospital bedside. At least he's honest about using her hospitalization for networking, Nathan said, sliding a chocolate muffin toward me. My phone lit up with a message from Walter. Heard about the hospital visit. You okay? Getting there, I replied. Thanks for the heads up about her condition. Heads up about what? Nathan asked. Before I could answer, the cafe door chimed. Russell stumbled in, clutching a startup pitch deck. Oh, for crying out loud. Mia stood up, but I pulled her back down. Evelyn. Russell called, drawing attention from other customers. Having a nice little coffee date while Mom suffers? I've got an investment opportunity that could help her. You mean like your crypto investment opportunity while she was being admitted? I kept my voice level. That's different. I'm building our family's future. You don't understand the blockchain economy. Sir, a barista approached him. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Not without my sister's investment, he sneered. Come on, Evelyn, 10 grand. That's all we need to launch the platform. Nathan stood up. She said no, man. Walk away. Stay out of this. Russell jabbed a finger at him. This is family business. No, I said firmly, standing too. This is harassment. And if you don't leave right now, I'm calling the police. You wouldn't. I pulled out my phone. Try me. Something in my voice must have convinced him, because he backed away, clutching his pitch deck. This isn't over. The crypto market is about to explode. Yes, it is. I sat back down, hands shaking but voice steady. It's been over since the Maldives. After he left, Nathan took my hand. You did good. Yeah, I said, watching Russell stagger down the street, already on his phone, probably looking for new investors. I did. And for the first time, I actually believed it. The foreclosure notice appeared in the local paper on a Tuesday. By Wednesday morning, my phone was exploding with messages from relatives I hadn't heard from in years. Did you see this? Mia slapped the newspaper down on my desk. Your mom's house is going up for auction next month. Before I could respond, Nathan rushed over. Evelyn, you need to see this. He pulled up Russell's latest LinkedIn post, a photo of our childhood home with the caption, "Thanks to my unsupportive sister, we're losing everything. Family should invest in family. Hashtag startup life, hashtag family first, hashtag entrepreneur mindset." He's got some nerve, Mia growled. My phone rang. Aunt Linda this time, probably with another pitch for Russell's revolutionary platform. I declined the call and turned to Nathan. Remember that coffee date we kept postponing? Want to go now? In the middle of work? I can't be here right now. He grabbed his keys without hesitation. Let's go. At the coffee shop around the corner, I finally looked at my messages. Most were variations of "How could you let this happen?" and "Your poor mother's startup dreams." But one caught my eye, from Walter, "Your mother's at my house. Russell nowhere to be found. Probably at another pitch meeting. Thought you should know." Of course, he's not there, I muttered, showing Nathan the message. Probably off pitching to more investors while Mom loses her house. Actually, Nathan pulled out his phone. According to his LinkedIn, he's at some startup conference in Miami right now. Premium pass. What? I grabbed his phone. Sure enough, there was Russell poolside with a laptop, caption reading, "Taking my pitch deck oceanside. Hashtag entrepreneur life." How is he affording this? Probably with whatever's left of your car money, he said gently. My phone buzzed again. Mom calling from Walter's phone. After a moment's hesitation, I answered on speaker. Evelyn? Please come to Walter's. We need to talk about Russell's new platform. How Russell's in Miami while you're losing the house. Silence. Then she said, "It's a vital networking opportunity." What opportunity? His last 5 startups failed. He's making valuable connections. Looking for angel investors. With my money? I said flatly. Again, that's not fair. He's trying to build something. To waste more money, to avoid responsibility? Which is it, Mom? You don't understand the startup world. No, you don't understand. I hadn't meant to shout, but the words burst out. I sold my car, my independence, to help with supposed medical bills. Instead, that money funded Russell's networking. Now he's in Miami pitching more failed ideas while you're losing your house, and somehow I'm the bad guy. Evelyn, put Walter on the phone. A shuffle, then Walter's voice, Hey kiddo, yes, she's really staying with me. Yeah. House's electricity got cut off yesterday and Russell, haven't seen him since he left for that essential startup conference. Your mother keeps making excuses, but he's living it up in Miami while she's homeless, I finished. Pretty much. I took a look at those startup pitch decks he left behind. Pure fantasy. I took a deep breath. Take care of her, Walter. I can't do it anymore. After hanging up, I looked at Nathan. Am I a terrible person for refusing to fund his schemes? No, he reached across the table. You're just finally putting yourself first. My phone lit up with a news alert. Someone had shared Russell's post to a local business forum. The comments were flooding in. Isn't this the guy who took his sister's car money for a networking retreat? Yeah, and now he's in Miami pitching vaporware while his mom's getting evicted. What a piece of work. Poor sister dodged a bullet getting away from this family business. Look, Nathan pointed to one comment from someone who worked at Russell's old company. This guy got fired for using company funds for startup research after blowing all his sister's money. Now he's trying to play victim. Hashtag startup fail he embezzled from his company too? Karma's not just a concept, Nathan smiled. It's a reality show, and your brother's the star. My phone buzzed with another message, this time from Mom's best friend. Just saw Russell's post. Don't worry, honey, we all know the truth. Your mother enabled his startup fantasies for years, and now they're both facing consequences. Stay strong. You know what's weird? I said, showing Nathan the message. A few months ago, this would have destroyed me. Now it feels like validation. Because you're finally seeing clearly, and apparently, so is everyone else. I looked at Russell's Miami pitch deck photos again, then at the foreclosure notice. He's really going to let her lose everything while he chases startup dreams in Miami? That's on him, Nathan said firmly. Not you. My phone buzzed one final time. Mia, your mom's story is all over local business groups, but plot twist, people are calling out Russell's scams. Even your aunts are dragging his entrepreneurship in the comments. Justice is sweet. I turned my phone off and looked at Nathan. Want to get out of here? I could use a walk. Lead the way. He smiled, taking my hand. As we left the coffee shop, I realized something. Sometimes, the best revenge isn't getting even. It's getting away and letting karma do its job.